This tutorial is part of a very fun collaboration with several of my YouTube friends. We've all made Star Wars themed tutorials just for you. You can find the link to the entire playlist or the individual videos underneath my video. I'll be showing you how to make these adorable Star Wars themed cupcake toppers. Hi everybody, this is Laura
and Arnie
with Krazy Cool Cakes, and today we're coming to you with a super cute and I think one of the funnest tutorials we've done. We're going to be teaching you how to make some of our Star Wars cupcake toppers. These are so much fun to make, at least we think so, and I hope you guys enjoy making them as much as we do. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so we're going to start making the 4 human beings in our set, and I've made the flesh tone using Wilton's ivory color, gel food coloring of course. The ball, once it's rolled, I would say is about 1.5 inches in diameter. So what I usually do when I'm creating these, since I know I'm going to be making a certain number of these, what I do is pre-roll all of the balls to make sure that they're all going to be the same size. So I've already pre-rolled all 4 of the pieces of gum paste for these 4 characters. All we're going to do is just knead the gum paste. Okay, once you have gotten rid of all the cracks and wrinkles, and you're going to roll it into a ball. Then you're going to place it on your tabletop and you're going to roll with your palm until you achieve a really cute fat capsule shape. This is the beginning of the face. So there's my capsule shape, and now what I'm going to do is with my palm begin to flatten it. You don't want it completely flat, we're just spreading out the gum paste, and we're going to start to shape it into a cute little rectangle. So as you can see, I'm using my fingers to give it the shape that I want. So as you can see, I have a cute little semi-rectangular shape. This is the shape that we're going for, okay? Really cute. Now you're going to take the largest ball in your Sculpting ball tool set, and you're going to take the large ball tool and you're going to place it right about here, bottom right. Not right on the edge. You want to have a little bit of space from the socket to the edge of the face, and just take your ball tool and you just press it in. You don't need to go all the way down to your table, just enough to make a nice deep socket, because we'll be placing a pretty big eye later on in here. And then just widen the hole just a tiny bit. If your gum paste, if the face starts spreading out when you're making the hole, what I do is I take my finger and I hold it. That way it doesn't move on me. Really cute. Now take your smallest ball tool in your Sculpey set, and you're going to place the little hole for the nose that we're going to put in later right there. I always align the little hole for the nose right where the bottom of the sockets are, and then you just put it in there and just widen it a tiny bit. Okay, so that's step 1 for all 4 of our humans. So go ahead and create 3 more. I'll go ahead and do that now. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've already made all 4 little faces for my 4 humans, and I'm going to put 3 off to the side, and I'm going to show you how to make the cute little nose. So you're just going to take a tiny little piece of the same colored gum paste, and you're just going to roll it into a tiny little ball, and then place it on your tabletop, and then you're going to make a little tiny teardrop shape. You want the end to be really pointy, because that's what's going to go into the hole for the nose. So that's the little tiny shape that you want. Okay, then you're going to take your edible glue, and you're going to just pick up a little tiny bit of glue and place it in the hole. And I'm going to show off my adorable little donut brush holder. I also make cupcakes, so if you like to buy one, you can find them in my Etsy shop. You'll find the link underneath the video. So then just take the little teardrop and place the little point in the hole, and then just gently tap it down. Don't press it down because you don't want to flatten it. You want to leave it nice and really cute and round. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and do the same for all 3 of our other little characters. I actually already have a tutorial on Yoda, but I've decided I'm going to go ahead and do it again because That way I don't make you guys have to go back to another tutorial. So I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly make Yoda. So this is a really cool electric green by AmeriColor. And I'm just gonna knead this and get all the cracks and wrinkles out. And again, roll it into a perfect ball and then roll it into a capsule shape. Okay, so there's Yoda's really cute rectangular head. Now you're gonna take your large ball tool and gonna make the eyes the same way. Then you're gonna take your little ball tool and make the little tiny hole again for the nose. Now we're gonna make the wrinkles on his face, and for this you're gonna use the blunt end of your super cool straight blade. Hopefully you can see this. One wrinkle here and one here. And I'm gonna pick it up, and that way I can make it go all the way to the top of his head. Okay. Then we're going to take our crazy cool hook blade. I'm just kidding. It's a really cool blade. It's got a hook shape and it comes in a set for sculpting. And of course, you can find the link underneath the video for that too. We use all of these tools. And then this will start in the wrinkle here. And then just carefully bring it all the way to the end. 2, 3. Hopefully you can see that. Cute. And then I turn it over to do the other side. 1, and then just continue it. 2, 3. We'll also be using this for Chewbacca a little bit later. All right, now follow the lines also in the middle, nice and arched. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take our small ball tool, and right next to the top of the eye, you're gonna insert the ball right in the center, right about here. And just stick the ball in there, and you're gonna widen the hole. This is gonna be for the ear. This is the top of the eye, right here. And then widen the hole. That's where the ears are gonna be stuck in. Okay, now let's make the little ears and the nose real quick. Same way we did it for the others. Little tiny teardrop. A little bit of glue with your awesome brush. Let's make the ears. 2 little balls about the size of a gumball. Okay, you're gonna knead them. Get all the cracks and wrinkles out. And then you're gonna roll it into a perfect ball first. Then a nice pointy teardrop. Okay, so put the ball on your table. Make sure you drop it like that, okay? Or else it's not gonna work.
It has to make a thud noise.
Yeah. Teardrop shape, hold your hand at an angle. You're not flat and parallel with the table. You're holding it at an angle to give you this teardrop shape, okay? Okay, real cute little, well actually not so little because Yoda's ears are pretty big. You're going to take your teardrop, take the fattest part of your finger, and then flatten. Flatten, flatten. Okay, then you're gonna take a veining tool. I use Wilton's veining tool, and you're gonna use the larger end. Make sure that the hook is up, not down, or else you're gonna tear the gum paste. So with the hook facing up, you're gonna take your flat end of the veining tool and you're gonna press in and drag. So we're just making the inner part of the ear. At the very bottom, I want to drag it and make it longer, extend it, because we're gonna actually roll this part here and stick that into the hole. Then you're going to pinch the end. Okay, hold the ear. This is gonna be his left ear, so we're gonna hook it this way. Cute, huh? So bring in the Yoda head. Take your edible glue and put some glue in the hole, and also a little bit on the outside of the hole, because it's gonna be touching the ear there. And then stick the pointy end, the part that you pinched, into the hole. Once you have it on your table, I like to raise the ear and then make it come down like this. To make sure that the ear is nice and stuck to the head, I also like to take the same wider end of the veining tool, and I actually stick it in here and into the hole. That way you make sure that the gum paste is really stuck in there. Okay, so there's one of Yoda's ears, and let's go ahead and do the same for the second ear. How cute is that?
Very cute.
We are making R2-D2, and this is a light gray gum paste. You can make this color gum paste by just adding a tiny bit of black to white, rolling it into a ball, just to get rid of cracks and wrinkles, okay? Then I'm going to take my rolling pin, and I'm not gonna roll this completely flat. I wanna give R2-D2 a bubble effect. I'm gonna show you how to do that. That's about as thick as I wanna go. So if I lift this, this is about like 1/4 of an inch, the equivalent of maybe like 2 Velveeta slices stuck together.
Probably 3.
No, about 2. This is a really cool technique to give gum paste cutouts a nice bubble effect. Take some plastic wrap, nice and straight, no wrinkles. And I'm gonna take my 2.5 inch circle cutter. These are my favorite cutters by Atico. And then just place it in the middle and press down. And then to make sure that I cut the gum paste, I like to just move this around down here, and yep, it's cut, okay? So there is a nice bubble effect. Let me pick this up and show it to you guys so you can see how cool that looks from the side. Okay, very cool. So to make the R2-D2 head, we're gonna cut this circle right in half with our awesome blade, okay? If you're making 2 R2-D2s, there you go, but we're only making 1. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of gray gum paste, and this time I am gonna roll it out flat. And this is going to be just a little circle, the little base for R2-D2's little, I guess it's his like eye, right? His eye hole?
I would imagine.
His camera?
The camera eye.
The camera eye. I'm gonna use a 1A tip Wilton. You can use any size, any brand, but this is 1A, and I'm gonna use the tip part just to cut out the circle because it actually happens to be the perfect size circle. So we're just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back of it. Bring in your R2-D2. There's gonna be a little strip that goes all along the bottom, so you wanna make sure that this is a little bit higher than that. Right about there, okay? Now we're gonna make the little piece that goes on top of that. So for this, you're gonna just need a little tiny pea size, maybe a little smaller than that. And you're gonna roll it into a tiny little ball. Get all the cracks and wrinkles out. And we're gonna roll it into a tiny little tube or capsule shape. And then you wanna flatten the top and the bottom of the tube. I take my 2 fingers and I'm flattening the bottom and top at the same time. And I'm twisting it. Then I'm going to take my medium-sized ball tool and then just start to make a little hole on the top. I'm actually pressing down with the ball tool, and then I'm gonna twist with my fingers on the table. Pick it up, put a little tiny bit of glue, and then that's gonna go right in the center of that little circle that we just made. Take your ball tool, press it down. Very cute. Okay, now we're gonna start on C-3PO, and this is the same amount of gum paste as the head for all of the characters we've done so far. This is a really pretty Buttercup by Wilton. So again, roll it into a ball, free of cracks and wrinkles, and then into a capsule shape. Okay, so again, give C-3PO a nice plump rectangular shaped head. And this guy's really fun to make. Then you're going to take your large ball tool, and this guy's eyes are closer together than the others, okay? So the first circle will go right here, and the second one will go right here. Okay, so you want to widen. His eyes are nice and big. This is when it's helpful to have two large ball tools, because you need to pinch these two eye sockets together.
Hey, that's mine.
No, it's mine. I let you use it. Just kidding, it's yours. Take your medium-sized ball tool, and you're going to make a smaller hole right in the middle. How cute is that? And then just widen that a little bit. We're gonna drop an eye into this little hole a little bit later. Okay, now we're gonna make C-3PO's cute little mouth. So now you're gonna take the flat end of your medium-sized ball tool, Sculpey of course. So here's the flat end, and you're going to insert below and right between where the eyes lie. So you're gonna insert the flat end, and I'm actually gonna pick this up. You're going to stretch it open. We're trying to go for a really cute little tiny rectangle. So just up and down. And you want to widen it on the inside too, so that it looks dark on the inside. God, that looks so adorable. So cute. Okay, just like that. Then you're going to take your blunt end once again of your long blade, and we're just gonna make a couple of lines in his face. The first line is gonna go across the top part of his face. Okay, so again, the blunt end, and make sure it's nice and straight. Press it in, and then work your way to the side. Just like that. Make sure it's noticeable, so go a little bit deep if you want. And don't worry if you ruin the shape of the eye socket, you can fix that again. I'm gonna turn it over, and then make sure that it's in the same place, right about there, and all the way to the end. Okay, take your ball tool and fix the eye socket if you messed it up a little bit. Now the second line is going to go from the mouth, the inside of the mouth, all the way to the side of his face. So you want to, again, make sure that this second line is going to be nice and straight and parallel with the first line that you made. So insert and all the way to the side. Cute. And don't worry if you are messing up the shape of the mouth a little bit. We'll always be able to fix that. Place the blade. Remember, you're using the blunt end. You're not cutting into the gum paste. All the way to the side. I'm gonna stick my flat end again and just fix my little C-3PO's mouth. So cute. You want to grab a little bit of the buttercup, and we're gonna roll out a worm. So just roll it into a nice long skinny worm, really little, okay? So we're only gonna want it to go from this line to this line. So all the rest we're gonna cut off, but we're not gonna cut it off yet. What we're gonna do first is we are going to add glue, only where we're gonna be gluing the little worm, right on the edge. And you don't need a lot, okay? Don't drench it in glue, just enough to make it tacky. Then we're going to take our worm, gently take your medium-sized ball tool and take the ball, and you're going to press right in the center of the worm. Guide yourself with where the eyes meet, and you're gonna press the worm right there. Give it a little dent. Then I'm gonna take this super cool tool that we use all the time. This is called a Sculpting Etch and Pearl. And I'll show you in a second why it's called Etch and Pearl. So the pointy end is to etch little designs into your gum paste. The little pearl section, it actually has a dent inside. It comes in a set of about 3 or 4 different sizes, and you can etch and pearl. So there's a perfect little circle on the top of C-3PO's head, and we're gonna use this again in just a second, of course. You can find the link underneath the video for that. Then take your flat end once again of your medium-sized ball tool, and we're gonna make some really cool lines all along the top of C-3PO's head. So I'm actually holding this perpendicular to the worm. So not like this, make sure it's up and down, and you're going to press in all the way around. And you're gonna stop right at the line. Take your blade and let's cut off right at the line that goes from his mouth to the outside. Now take a little bit of gum paste, and you're going to just roll 2 little tiny balls. This is decoration. They're gonna be 2 little gold screws that go at the end of this worm. Okay, then you are going to take your finger and just gently press it down. You're not flattening it completely. Okay, then take your etch and pearl, use the little pearl end, and we're just going to press down right in the center. I know I'm blocking your view. Perfect little circle. I love this tool so much. Turn it over and then just put a tiny bit of glue. And then carefully pick up your C-3PO, and you're gonna put it right at the end of the worm, just like that. And then we're gonna put this little guy off to the side also and let him dry for a little bit before we dust him gold. How cool is that? All right, guys, so now we're moving on to Chewbacca. This is being made with brown gum paste, chocolate gum paste, and then of course it's the same amount as all the others. And then we are going to again roll it into a capsule and then begin to flatten to get that rectangular shape once again. So the difference between Chewie and the others is his head is actually going to be vertical, not horizontal like the others, because he has a big, tall, gigantic head. Okay, but he's super, super cute. So what we're gonna do first is you're gonna take your ball tool once again, and I use the handle of my Sculpting ball tools a lot. So I'm gonna get the widest part of the handle, and I'm going to create a dent that goes across close to the bottom. This is where his little nose is gonna be. So I'm just gonna press down and then just widen a little bit, just like that. Now take the large ball tool and press in right there and right there. So again, if the gum paste is moving on you, put your finger on the side and you widen the eye socket. Take your flat end again that goes in your medium-sized ball tool, or that comes with your medium-sized ball tool, and we're going to make his cute little mouth. So again, at the bottom of the dent, just like we did the C-3PO, the only difference is his mouth is gonna be a lot wider. So once you make that first insertion, move it over a little bit and press in the same area. And again, move it over a little bit more because we want to make his mouth a little wider. And then just begin to move back and forth to widen his little mouth open. We're gonna stick some little white teeth in there. Okay, now we're gonna use the same hooked tool, the same blade that we used a little while ago, and this is what I used to make Chewbacca's fur lines on his face. So I always start around the mouth, and you're not really pulling, you're just pressing down, and this shows the direction in which the fur is growing. Very cute. So I'm gonna put my little Chewy to start drying. Okay, so since we were already working with the brown, let's go ahead and add the hair to Princess Leia and Han Solo. And the size that you need really isn't that important right now. We're just gonna roll out some gum paste and cut off what we don't need. I'm gonna roll this out to about 1/8 of an inch. This actually will be enough for 2 of my characters. What I'm going to do is just take my blade. So it's about 6 inches wide because I know my blade's 6 inches wide, and I'm gonna cut right in the center. We wanna start off with a straight line. So I'm gonna get rid of this one for now, and I'm gonna just work with this piece. Han Solo, just like Leia, has a part in his hair right in the center of his head. So I'm going to cut this piece right in half. This straight part here will be the hairline. And of course, I don't want his hair looking, you know, perfectly with a perfect corner here. So I'm gonna cut off the very corner and just round it out. Give it a nice, cute little round shape. Just like that. That's one side of his hair, and then cut the corner off here also. Just round it off. So what I'm going to do now is take my little character's head, take my glue, and I'm going to add glue only to the parts of the head that will have the hair touching. So I'm gonna start with the right side, and I always start by adding glue right in the middle, and I work my way down. And you'll see the shape of the hair once I put it on there, and you'll understand why I'm doing it in this pattern. So I'm gonna take my piece of gum paste and I'm gonna place it right in the center where I know there's glue. And you want this piece of gum paste to be right in the middle, right there. And I'm gonna pick this up because I like to give them a little swirl of hair. And then of course it helps to take your blade, because we're gonna end up stretching this piece of gum paste down. And so that we're not pulling and yanking, I like to cut the gum paste so that it opens up when I'm pulling it. And then if there's any extra that you know you're not going to use, go ahead and get rid of it now so it's not getting in your way. Little swoop of hair there. And down. Take your straight edge of your medium-sized ball tool and gently start, and it'll be a good idea just to cut off what we know we're not going to use even more, so it's not pulling on the gum paste, and just push it in. You're pretty much shoving it a little bit underneath the head. Take your blade and begin to press it up against the side of the head and cut off all the excess. Now let's do the same for the other side. So take some glue. Take the other half of the hair and you're gonna put it in the same place. Make sure the seam is closed. You don't see any flesh tone between the two pieces here. And then let's go ahead and cut away and cut the gum paste so that we can easily turn it. Give them a little lift right here. Just like that. So there's the little swoop you can see there. And now let's do the same for Princess Leia. And then let's round off. I always like to start on the right side, so I'm gonna add glue. Starting from the middle. Swoop it down. Okay, right in the middle. Cut the gum paste so that it opens up on you when you're pulling it. I like to give her a little swoop. Hold it in place. Cut off what you don't need so it's not sticking to your table. Right there. Okay, take your flat end and press it up against. Take your blade and start cutting off what you don't need. Okay, let's do the same for the other side. Hold it in place so it doesn't move on you. Give her the same amount of swoopness on both sides. Hold the gum paste and press it in. Let's cut off all of this stuff we don't need so it's not in our way. And let's get rid of what we don't need. How cute is that? Okay, now we're gonna make the hair for Princess Leia. I like to call them donuts because they look like donuts. And all you're gonna do is take a small amount of gum paste and we're gonna roll a nice long worm. Roll it into a ball. Once this is rolled out, I'll be able to tell you approximately how long it is. Okay, so I would say that this worm is about 1/4 of an inch wide. I'm gonna go ahead and make both ends pointy. This entire worm here, I would say, is about 8 inches long. And of course, we're not gonna use the whole thing. So you can see I've got 2 pointy ends. Okay, I'm gonna cut it right in half, or close to half. Okay. Okay, so now that we have our little worm cut in half, we're gonna start rolling this to make Princess Leia's donuts. So all you're gonna do is take the little pointy end and just gently curl it inward. And at this point, I'm gonna put it down on the table because I do want the bottom part to be nice and flat. Just curl, curl, curl. Just don't squash it, keep it nice and round. Okay, and of course we're gonna get rid of this part. So take your blade, this will be the bottom of the donut. And we want the bottom part to be nice and straight. That's what's gonna go up against the table. Okay, let's do the second one. At this point, before I cut this off, I put the second one right next to it to make sure that they're the same size. And that way I only cut off where I need. Right there, okay? Just like that. Bring in the Leia head, and the entire donut doesn't touch the side of her head. If you can see here, if I lift it, you'll see that less than half of it is actually touching the side of her head. So we're only gonna add glue to the bottom half. I'm gonna go ahead and add glue to the other one now. Okay, there's the Leia head, 2 little donuts, and we're gonna put them right up against the side of her head. And she already looks adorable. How cute is that? All right, so nice and stuck. The bottom parts that we cut are nice and flush with the bottom of the head. So I'm gonna put this off to the side, and let's work on the next little character. Obi-Wan is really fun to make, so I always start with this piece of hair on his forehead first. So you're just gonna take a small ball of gum paste. So roll a perfect little ball free of wrinkles. Okay, so place the little ball on the table, and then hold your hand at an angle, just like we did the Yoda ears. Really cute little teardrop. You don't want it too fat. And then take your finger and just press it down a little bit, just a little. Okay, so you can see the thickness. You're gonna hold the teardrop in your hand, take the blunt end of your blade, and we're gonna sketch some lines from the bottom all the way to the top. And so just gently hold it, start at the bottom, and just press down. Remember, you're using the blunt end so that you don't cut through the gum paste or your fingers. So hopefully you can see those little lines. Okay, now we're just gonna turn it over, add a little bit of glue to the bottom, and then place the hair nice and right there, okay? Just tap it down. Really cute. Okay, so now we're going to make his beard. So take about the same amount of gum paste. We're gonna roll a worm. About 1/4 of an inch in thickness. And then, of course, you wanna make sure that it is at least this long. We're gonna cut some off because what we're gonna do now is you're gonna take your finger again and just semi-flatten, just to widen it out. So there's our semi-flattened worm. Take the blunt end of your blade. Again, as you can see, we use the blunt end of the blade for everything. So if you don't have one of these, make sure you check out the link underneath the video. So we're gonna just gently press lines throughout the I'm not actually doing it. We're just gonna press lines throughout the entire length of the worm. Nice and deep so that you can see them. So just put it up against and make a mark. Or you can actually cut pretty much through. Cut off what you don't need. Okay, and then we're gonna take a little bit of glue and just add it to the back of the worm. Just a little bit. Bring in Obi-Wan, and then you're gonna put it up against the bottom, and then just gently glue it to his face. Looking cute. Now we're gonna add a little goatee. Every time I do this part, it reminds me of my husband. A little white goatee. So you're just gonna take a little ball of gum paste and we're gonna roll it into a little tiny teardrop. Cute little teardrop. And again, and this is very little, okay? Not even an inch long. Flatten. Semi-flatten. Okay, you can see it's still pretty thick. Okay, then you're going to take again the blunt end of your blade. And we're gonna score lines from top to bottom just like we did the little hair piece a little while ago. Then what you're gonna do is curve it because it's going to go from the table to the top of his beard. And right now I'm just measuring. So the bottom of the little goatee piece here is actually on my table. And I'm gonna press it forward just to get an idea of where I need to cut. So I wanna make the cut right where the line of the beard is. So I'm gonna press it down a little bit and make a little dent with my blade. And I'm gonna make the actual cut. Okay, then I'm just gonna take a little bit of glue to the back and place it right back where I had it. And for this, I'm gonna use my flat end because it'll help me put it in that little crease. Okay, now we're gonna make a little tiny mustache. So just take the little remnants of your beard and we're gonna roll a tiny little worm. And again, this will be kind of skinny. And then again, we'll score little lines. Okay, about the size of a spaghetti, maybe a little thicker. And then take your finger and gently press it down. Then take the blunt end of your blade. And of course, we're not gonna use this whole thing. We're gonna cut off a lot of it. But you wanna see little lines up and down. Then you're gonna pick it up and we're just gonna measure what we need or don't need. Okay, so I'm gonna make a mark with the blunt end of my blade, and this way I'll know where to cut off what I don't need. Right there and right there. Carefully remove the mustache. I'll cut off what I don't need here. And then I'm gonna turn the little mustache over and just add a little tiny bit of glue to the back and put it right back where I had it. You want it to be touching the beard on the sides. How adorable is that? All right, guys, so now we're gonna make the hood of Obi-Wan's little outfit. And the amount of gum paste that I'm using is about the same amount that we used to create the heads of the characters. So I'm just rolling it into a ball just to get most of the cracks and wrinkles out. And what I'm gonna do is roll this into a long log, okay, about 4 inches. Then I'm gonna take my rolling pin and roll it out, a little wide and a little long. Okay, and just like we did for the hair on Leia and all them guys, take your blade and you want to start with a straight line. So this will be the edge of the hood. Okay, all this we don't need. Bring in your Obi-Wan and we're going to add glue all around, only where the hood's gonna be touching. So just halfway on the bangs, all along the edge. Not a lot, remember, just a little bit. The very bottom half of the beard as well, not the whole beard, just the bottom half. And the bottom of the little goatee. Good idea right now to take your blade and just slightly trim the ends so that when you're wrapping it around, you're not tearing and pulling. Okay, so there is my Obi-Wan right in the center of the brown gum paste. That's gonna go right on top of his little piece of hair. Right there. Then I'm gonna start gently, hold it in the middle so it stays, and then bring the brown gum paste around. Hold it, bring it around. Okay, do the same thing over here. Hold it and start wrapping it around. Let me cut off all of this stuff that I know for a fact I don't need. Anything that's getting stuck to your mat that's annoying you or getting in your way, just cut it off. Okay. So cute. I better do a few more cuts here because I know I need to pull this a little bit more. This piece is closer to the table. You'll see when you're pulling it where you need to make your cuts so that your gum paste doesn't snag on you. It would help if I used the blade end. Okay, and then just wrap it. You do want this to go into the little corner here between the beard and the goatee. And then wherever your two ends meet up, before you actually glue it, you want to kind of measure where you're going to need to make the cut, and then just go ahead and make the cut. And then if you have to, like I always have to, add a tiny bit of glue on the very end here that will stick to the other piece of gum paste. Okay, so now that we've got all the brown wrapped around, you want to now gently start pressing towards the side of the head. Go ahead and take your blade, cut off a lot of the excess that you don't need. Don't get too close to the edge of the head because we're gonna end up pushing some of this closer to the face. Okay, take the straight edge of your medium-sized ball tool and then gently begin to press in towards the head. So now you can start cutting and trimming the entire excess. Then when you're done trimming all the excess all the way around, just one last time, give it one last little push and shove underneath so that everything looks nice and clean at the bottom. How cute is that? Alright guys, now we're moving on to Luke Skywalker, and I'm kneading the leftover buttercup color that we used to make C-3PO. So roll it into a ball, get all the cracks and wrinkles out, and again, roll it into a long worm. And then take your rolling pin and start rolling it out. about 1/8 of an inch in thickness. Okay, so this doesn't need to be too long. You want to start with a nice straight line. That will be the hairline, and then go ahead and make a cut a little bit off to the right. And again, you can make the hair look however you'd like, but this is the way that I'm parting Luke's hair. And again, I'm gonna round off the corners with my blade. We're gonna add the first piece of the hair, and that will be the longer part, so that will start about here and go to his right. So I'm gonna take a little bit of glue, and I'm only going to add glue where the hair will be stuck. So the part starts right about here, and then I want it to swoop down towards the front, all the way to where his ear would be. Then go ahead and place his hair. Keep an eye on where you added the glue so you know exactly where to put it. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more because I know his hair is gonna come down a little bit lower. And, oh my gosh, so adorable. Okay, straight down. And then I'm going to make a cut right here so that I'm not pulling and dragging on the gum paste. Remember, hold it with your fingers so it doesn't move on you. And then bring it to the side. And Luke's swoop is actually a little bit lower, right about there. Let's trim off what we don't need so it's not in our way. And then gently nudge it towards the head. Take your flat end of your medium-sized ball tool and then start pushing the gum paste towards the edge of the head. Okay, then take your blade and let's trim off the excess. Right about there. Okay, and to the side where it's gonna be touching. And let's go ahead and cut the gum paste now so that we're not pulling and stretching. Make sure that this line is nice and straight with the part right there. Make sure that you cannot see flesh tone between the two pieces of yellow, and then hold it and then bring this piece of gum paste to the side. And you can give them a tiny little swoop here too if you want. And again, and use your flat end. And then let's trim off what we don't need. Is that not the cutest Luke ever? All right, guys, so the next step is to dust our C-3PO and R2-D2, and we're gonna go ahead and do that now so that we can start decorating the little R2-D2. And I'm going to start with C-3PO, and for C-3PO, you wanna take your camel hair brush, very nice, fine, loose bristles, and I'm gonna be using Super Gold by CK. Hopefully you guys can see that there. And so just basically pick up a little bit of gold dust and just dust the entire visible surface of the C-3PO. And then once we steam this, it's gonna look really nice and metallic. Super cute. So I'm just gonna move this guy over. All right, guys, so the next thing we're gonna do is dust our R2-D2 silver, and I have some silver highlighter dust, and I'm using another camel hair brush, really nice soft bristles. It's one of the ones that comes in the set, and again, I like to pick up just a little bit and put it in the little lid here, that way it doesn't go all over the place, and then just dust the entire R2-D2. So we're gonna go ahead and put this little R2-D2 on a nice clean piece of parchment paper, and then we'll go ahead and get started on the little details for the R2-D2. All right guys, so now we're gonna start adding the little tiny details to the R2-D2, and for this we're gonna be using a really nice dark navy blue gum paste. And what the? Where did these man hands come from?
What the heck? It sounds like a Seinfeld episode.
Just kidding, guys. My husband's gonna show you how to add the little tiny details to the R2-D2 because he's the one that always does it. So take it away, baby.
Like she said, I'm always the one that does the details on the R2-D2, so here we go. Just needed some dark blue gum paste, like the Dallas Cowboy colors. Hopefully we got some cowboy fans out there. So we're just rolling it out pretty thin, about less than 1/8 of an inch. And that should do it right there. And first thing we're gonna do is put our line on our R2-D2. We just take the blade, cut it down. And this one's gonna be about, I would say about 1/16 of an inch wide. And this is what we're gonna place on our R2-D2. We'll place this gum paste to the side, bring in our R2-D2, and we'll just make sure that it's gonna be long enough before we put any edible glue on it. And that's what's it's gonna sit right there. So let's go and take our edible glue, put it on this side of it. Just a little bit. Just enough to make it tacky, as my wife says. All right, let's give it a shot. We'll tuck in. We'll tuck in on this side. Then we take our blade and just cut away. Take our blade on this side, cut it away. Now we have our spacer, and we're gonna move on to the next part, which will be some of the other moving parts on our robot, or I'm sorry, on our droid. Bring our gum paste back into the picture, and then we're gonna cut it with our tip, which is also gonna be a 2A. Push that out. And then we're gonna cut around it to give it this shape here. So I brought the R2-D2 back in. So this is the 1A tip. This is what my wife used to make this circle. So we're gonna give this shape around this circle just to give it some curvature. Okay? And then we're gonna make a straight cut down. Disregard this piece. And we're gonna glue the back of this. We're just gonna place it right here on R2-D2 and bring in my other finger. And it's very delicate, but there we are. Now we're gonna move on to the next piece. And what I like to do here is use this same line here that's straight and then cut a little piece right here. Make sure that's nice and straight. And then maybe another little one right here. This will make sense in a second. I'm gonna do it with these pieces. So we're gonna cut this in half, or a bit less on the bottom. Sorry, just be a smaller piece on the bottom.
So was that basically a little blue square?
I would say like a small rectangle. And then we're gonna turn this one into a trapezoid. I think that was the shape I remember from geometry.
Many years ago.
I won't even talk about that. When I was young. When I was young. And that's gonna sit together like that on R2-D2. Now we gotta make sure it fits, so we bring them in. And I like to use this spatula to bring in the pieces. We're not gluing it yet, we're just sizing it up. So that's gonna work right there. Okay, so I'm gonna take my blade and slice it right around here. And I can't tell you where I came up with that measurement, but it's just from looking at pictures. And you could just copy me from that from here on out. It's fine.
Just eyeballing it.
I really did just eyeball it, yeah. And then just to give it a spacer, and this is what it's gonna look like when it's back on R2-D2. Okay, we're gonna place the bottom pieces on first. So with my big man hands, I'm just trying to fit this in there. I put glue on the smaller piece. These guys can get a little bit tricky, but you're still the boss. And once again, just place it on there. He's becoming a droid.
Bloopy bloop bloop bloop.
What the?
That's R2-D2.
Is that how he talks? Okay, I'm gonna cut this last piece for the R2-D2. It's gonna be right here, just a small rectangle. And when I place this, you're gonna say, oh, that makes sense. And once again, I'm just gonna put it on there just to size it up. And that looks fine. So I'm gonna put some glue on it now.
Boy, you got some hairy arms there.
The hairier to scare you with. Okay. Okay, next we're gonna take the baby blue gum paste that we have already made. You'll just need a tip, which is a 9 tip.
Number 9? Number 9.
And then also a number 11. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street. So I'm gonna just roll this out a little bit. I'm just gonna cut some small pieces because you don't need that much. So first we'll take our number 11 tip, make our punch, punch that out, number 9, and that stayed in there. What the heck? Okay, no big deal. Next you're gonna take some glue and place it on the, what did I say, this is a trapezoid? I'm just gonna put some on there and grab my spatula. And grab your smaller circle. Scoot it over a little bit. How's that look?
Nice.
Yeah? Cut, cut, cut.
What's the shape you're going for?
Just 2 little squares. And there we are. Put some glue in these spots. And there's your R2-D2.
Nice.
Thank you, my baby.
Good job, baby. Thanks for showing us that.
You bet. My pleasure.
Okay guys, so we just wanted to show you what the little R2-D2 and C-3PO look like steamed with our My Little Steamer Go Mini. If you haven't checked out our tutorial on how to steam cake toppers, you can find the link underneath the video for that tutorial that we've already made. So this is just, I think, beautiful. Don't you think, baby?
I love it.
We still need to add Chewbacca's teeth. So for that, we're just gonna use a tiny little bit of white gum paste. And we're gonna roll a very little white worm, big enough to fit into the little slit that we made for his mouth. And then I like to place it right on top just to get an idea of the size where I need to make my cut. So I actually take my blade and I'm just gonna make a little mark where to make my cut. Cut off what I don't need. And then take your glue and you're just gonna add a little tiny bit of glue inside of Chewie's mouth and place the little teeth in the little slit. And then I like to take the flat end of my ball tool and just press it in so that it's nice and flush. Then I like to use this little hook blade that comes in my sculpting tool that we showed you earlier. If you don't want to use this, you could always use the straight blade as well, or the blunt end. But I like to take the hook blade and then just use it to press in to make little tiny teeth. Just like that. I think that looks so adorable. Okay, so for Chewbacca's nose, you're just gonna take a tiny little black piece of gum paste about the size of a Tic Tac, roll it into a little ball, Make sure it's free of cracks and wrinkles, and then roll it into a little fat capsule shape, just like that. And I like to press it down just a little bit to flatten the bottom, a tiny bit. Add a little bit of glue to the back of the nose, and his little nose is going to go right there, just like that. How cute. Okay, so we're going to do the eyes for all of our characters, and they're all going to be done the same way. So take a ball of black gum paste, and we're just gonna test it out. Of course, all of the little dents that we made for the eyes are all different sizes. You don't want the eyes to be popping out. You wanna just have them kind of doming out of the socket. So once you get the right size, you just put it in there, press it down a little bit. You don't want to flatten the top, you still want to have it nice and rounded. And if I lift this and show you how it looks, that's too much, okay? That for me. I mean, if you want the eyes bulging out, then of course you make it however you'd like. But I don't like to have mine popping out that much, so I'm gonna make it even smaller. And see how I like this one. That actually looks almost perfect. And that's the right amount of bulge for me. You can actually see it there. Okay, that's how much I like popping out. So once I have the right size, I can take it out without messing it up too bad. Take a little bit of glue right in the middle, and then just pop it right back in there and gently press it down. Not flattening it, just spreading it out a little. Just like that. Let's go ahead and do the same for the second eye. There's our super cute little Chewbacca. So adorable. Okay, let's do Princess Leia next. Okay, so let's do the same for Leia. But with Leia, before we glue the eye, we're going to add her little eyelashes, because if we paint the eyelashes on first and then we're testing the eye and popping it in and out, we're going to end up smearing the eyelashes. So that's the perfect size. I'm going to take my pointy black marker. This is a Wilton food writer, and I like this for fine lines because the tip is actually a lot pointier than the other marker. So we're just gonna do 3 little eyelashes. 1, 2, 3. And that way I know this is the perfect size, and all I have to do now is just put glue in the middle, nowhere near the eyelashes, so there's no risk of smearing them. And all I'm gonna do now is put the eye in there and then press it down. Make sure you don't accidentally touch the eyelashes. How cute is that? Okay, let's do the same thing for the second eye. So now that I know that fits perfectly, again, I'm going to draw some really cute little eyelashes. Right in the center, plop the eye, and gently and carefully press it down. So cute. All right, who's next? Yoda. So cute. Luke. Cute. Han Solo. So cute. Obi-Wan Kenobi. So cute. Okay, so for C-3PO, the black eye will go into the smaller hole. C-3PO, nice and cute with his little eyes. So now I'm gonna put all my little guys together here, and we're gonna give them some really cute rosy cheeks. The ones that we can, of course. So we're near the end, guys. The last thing we're gonna do is add some really cute little rosy cheeks to some of our characters. And again, I'm using one of my really awesome camel brushes. Be sure to find the link underneath the video if you wanna purchase your own set. I like these again because the bristles are very nice and loose and they're not gonna leave any streaks on our toppers. And this is a really nice red petal dust by Wilton. So I actually like to pick up some of the dust and just put a little bit of it in the cap. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Han Solo. And again, very lightly, if you wanna check to see how it's gonna look, you can actually do it on your hand. So that's the perfect shade. Just a little bit below the eye and to the side. Just a tiny little bit. Okay, so there's Han Solo with his adorable little rosy cheeks, just a little bit on the corners, okay? And then let's do Luke. Oh my gosh, so cute. Yoda also requires little rosy cheeks, and that's just gonna make him even more adorable. You are cute. Let's do Obi-Wan. How cute is that? And then of course, the one that's gonna look the cutest with rosy cheeks is Leia. So adorable. Alright guys, so here are the finished Star Wars cupcake toppers. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you guys think that these are just as cute as I do. Again, our clients love these. I have a blast making them every time. I know you guys are gonna enjoy making them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like and share, and thank you for being subscribers, and we would love it if you guys could join us on Facebook and also follow us on Instagram. And all our little guys say thank you. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, y'all. Take care.